Recycling and using less energy are easy yet important ways that we can make a difference in our environment. Head out to any of our national parks and you'll see why all that effort is so important. Parques Canada is a world leader when it comes to protecting that delicate balance of nature.
These national parks represent a part of our history, of our ancestors.
The public is very supportive of national parks in Canada.
Millions of people come here every year and they leave with a wonderful experience.
Well, the national parks are part of our identity.
They do represent what Canada is all about.
Many of the national parks in Canada are World Heritage Sites, which is a recognition that in the whole world, these are the most special representations of these unique kinds of environments.
We need to protect these resources now because they will not be there for the future. The national parks are established for the use and enjoyment of people as well as protecting the resources. Our first priority in managing the national parks is to ensure that ecological integrity is protected. But for us to be able to achieve conservation objectives, like we need people of Canada to support the national parks.
And as we go about providing services and opportunities for people to visit the parks, we emphasize the protection of those resources. So we use the very best of science to make sure that we're making good decisions and good management practices from day to day. We use a precautionary principle not to make dramatic changes or decisions that are liable to damage the park in any way that we can't put back.
In keeping with these philosophies, Parques Canada is leading the way in finding the balance between protecting nature and allowing public access. In Banff National Park, the twinning of the Trans-Canada Highway created a unique challenge for Parques Canada.
We have 21 underpasses and 2 overpasses on 45 kilometers of twin fence highway. It's been wonderfully successful. It truly is unparalleled anywhere in the world for numbers and diversity of wildlife. And we get scientists and planners coming from countries all over the world to examine and see what we have done here in the mountains.
We haven't really reached the stage in Canada where we have put a limitation on the number of people coming and visiting the parks, but we have put cap on commercial development. But we will reach a point on some of the trails, for example, that we will have probably to put limits on the number of people that can come and use them.
For hikers, sometimes an area would be closed. If there was a wolf den or bears with cubs, we might close a valley completely. Or, as we've done near Lake Louise, for example, you have to be in a group of 6 in order to enter into some of those valleys there, because we know that that gives you protection from bears that are present in the area.
The staff in the visitor centers are a wealth of information. They can explain to you why we may have a special request for a certain area, and then they can also make recommendations for you for alternate locations where you can go and have a wonderful day.
In Canada, there are 39 natural regions, and it's Parques Canada's objective to establish a national park in each of these regions.
Virginia Falls, of course, is a world icon of a spectacular waterfall feature in Nahanni National Park. It's important for us to be cognizant that Nahanni National Park is a protected World Heritage Site, and as the surrounding resources are utilized, that we're sympathetic to the presence of the park and that we're good neighbors with each other. National parks are going to become more and more important as our population increases and these protected wildland areas become less and less prevalent throughout the world and in Canada as well. They're going to be more highly prized, more treasured than they ever have been. 100 years ago in this country, a community would have been called an island of civilization in a sea of wilderness. Now, 100 years later, the national parks are referred to as islands of wilderness in seas of civilization. There's always been the enduring appreciation of the spectacular landscape, the undisturbed environment, opportunity to see wildlife in their natural environment. That's true today, the same as it was a century ago.
I love the spectacular beauties of all of our national parks, but you look at all the development happening around them right now, and maybe the only place where you can go and find tranquility or connect with nature is the national parks.
This particular environment has been developing here for 10,000 years, and I would hope to be able to contribute to it for a few years to make sure that it lasts an equal time past this.